Jonathan Schanzer is Vice President for Research at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies before taking up his current post. He was a counterterrorism analyst at the U.S. Treasury Department, and he joins us now from Washington. Thanks for being with us.
My pleasure.
So it's been nearly 25 years since this killing took place. Why admit this now?
Well, I think there is some doubt out there about the long arm of the Mossad and whether they're able to carry out certain operations and whether they have the same efficacy that they once had, the same deadly ability to go after its enemies. I think this is particularly important right now as Iran develops that nuclear program. There have been some doubts about whether the Mossad has been able to deter it. I think this is just a subtle reminder, or perhaps not even such a subtle one, that Israel has a very deadly external security machine if it chooses to put it into action.
If it chooses to do so. So is this news to anyone?
It's not. I mean, Israel has long been suspected of carrying out this attack, but as Israel is it's often the case that Israel just simply denies it or doesn't even mention it. And this is the sort of mode of operations that the Israelis have done in the past. For 24 years now, everyone has suspected the Israelis of killing Abu Jihad. They come out now and do it, and I think it obviously gets some people upset and brings back some bad memories, but I don't think it's a surprise at all.
So what impact, if any, will this admission have on relations between Israel and the Palestinians?
I don't think it will change much. Unfortunately, the peace process has really been stuck in the mud since the beginning of the Second Intifada back in the year 2000. The Israelis and Palestinians have really not made much headway in terms of getting back to the negotiating table. The few instances where they have been able to at least talk have fallen apart. And now you have the Palestinians going to the United Nations next month, unilaterally declaring a state. This is obviously not something that the Israelis are particularly fond of. And so things have flatlined on the peace process front. I don't think this is going to make it any worse. In fact, if you think about it, the timing is probably, it's good timing. It's not going to hurt anything by revealing this.
And will this admission raise suspicions of Israeli involvement in Arafat's death?
Well, on that, I think everybody, again, suspects that Israel was involved in some way. But you have to remember that Arafat's death in 2004 came after Arafat had been holed up in his compound where the Israelis had surrounded him for several months. He was an old man. He had lived hard. He had survived a plane crash, countless assassination attempts, both by Palestinians and by the Israelis, and perhaps even by some foreign governments as well. And so, I think the likelihood is that he died of relatively natural causes. There are some rumors out there that he died of AIDS. I mean, it was sort of mysterious exactly how he died, but, the bottom line is I don't believe that it was the Israelis. We may find that it was, and I think the Palestinians fully expect that. I just don't see this yielding what the Palestinians think it will. It's probably more of an attack against the current Palestinian leadership. This was raised initially by the Al Jazeera network, which is known to be opponents of Mahmoud Abbas, the current Palestinian president.
Jonathan Schanzer, great to have you with us tonight. Thank you.